Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
So Paul Watson's done a great job with this story that gives you a lot bigger picture, not just the Austin American Statesman yesterday. I got to dig that out. I saw it, never covered it. Said that they can't tell you what's in the water because Homeland Security says Al-Qaeda might use that information. What does that mean? The Statesman's so bad in town, all the other papers would tell you what the AP said, and it was a whitewash itself, and the Statesman said, we cannot let you know, and said Al-Qaeda. I'm not joking. You can't make stuff like this up. Okay, now we're going to shift gears into the Chinese one-child policy, into global warming being a hoax for taxation, into their own documents, Carnegie documents and others admitting what this will do. Also, because he joins us from England, Army recruits 180 foreign officers to fill staff posts. Now, we're going to go through all this. Paul Watson, hadn't had you on in a while. Appreciate you coming on.
Good to be here, Alex.
How are things going up in Sheffield?
Pretty good. I'm still squidding around town.
All right, my friend. There's a lot to talk about. What do you want to get into first? I mean, I think we should really boil down how they get us all hyped into thinking, oh, the Earth's dying, which there are some problems, but then their solutions have nothing to do with that. It's all about taxing our activities and totally micromanaging our lives. And a bunch of stories have come out in the last week. You've written a couple stories that really detail this, and it looks like they're losing momentum and their hoax is being exposed.
Well, yeah, it's being exposed to an ever greater degree simply because the claims that they make about what the supposed effects of global warming are going to be in 20, 30, 50 years, you know, they're getting more and more outrageous that people are beginning to see through it. I mean, during the last global cooling hoax in the 70s, when they said that we were on the verge of a new ice age, they said that all the fish in the sea would be dead within 20, 30 years. And those exact same claims are now being repeated with the global warming scam. So it's the same kind of fear-mongering. And then we had that report yesterday out of the Washington Post from the Carnegie Institute, which basically said that we're going to have to reduce carbon emissions to near zero or absolute zero within decades, or they claim the world's oceans and rivers are going to dry up due to global warming. The fact that this would set technological progress back hundreds of years and effectively, you know, return man to the Stone Age was not even mentioned by the Washington Post, who, you know, gave it sober gravitas. I mean,
now, let's be clear here. The Carnegie Endowment, the ones that even set up the Rockefellers, they're the ones in their Carnegie Endowment for Peace that call for world war, for world government, that call for eugenics extermination, that pay for PhDs in sterilization. I mean, these are the in-game monsters.
Exactly. And it all tracks back to the origins of when the legitimate concerns about the environment, you know, things like toxic waste dumping, you know, deforestation, were hijacked around the late 80s, early 90s by these same globalist interests. And in that article that I wrote yesterday, I include quotes from the Club of Rome. They did a report in 1991 entitled The First Global Revolution. And in that report, it states, quote, "In searching for a new enemy to unite us, we came up with the idea that pollution, the threat of global warming, water shortages, famine, and the like would fit the bill. All these dangers are caused by human intervention. The real enemy, then, is humanity itself." So there you have the Club of Rome stating on record that they would use global warming as a means of uniting the people behind their agenda. And what was their agenda? In the same report, it states, quote, "State sovereignty must be altered in a globalized era, that a system of world government must be created and sovereignty eliminated in order to fight global warming as well as terrorism." That was Richard Haas, who is now the president of the Council on Foreign Relations.
And I've told you, stay there. I want to come back and go back over those quotes again. Understand, it's the twin tracks of terror and carbon. And that's how they're going to micromanage and carry out the exterminations. We'll be right back.